not here. Should I start clearing my throat into the mic during this? I gave a loving tribute to Professor Degree. And yes, I know you can hear me. I've told him so many times, they can hear you when you do that. But during the intro, he, for some reason, just finds that to be a really good time to clear his throat over and over again. Hello, everyone. I'm Blade Daly, and this is Books and Bodyslams. And we're doing a little crowd work, you know, like the pros do, right? Right? Am I right? Am I right, bros?
Yeah, I just watched the funniest promo ever existed, so I'm ready for it.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about it when we get down to business.
Yeah.
And you know, it was a good week for pro wrestling. I gotta say, all in all, like really, really good.
It was all right.
Today, Books, we're gonna be talking about a guy who's better than just okay. And that's Andrade El Idolo, the real Latino man.
He's amazing. Oh
my
God.
Yep. And I think Skewered Universe is asking the most resonant question: which books do we get today? And that's a fair question. Oh, great. Now, in fairness,
this is my first one.
Yeah. So this is where we slowly, week by week, just watch books descend into alcoholism. That's So for your 100th episode, Books, I'm gonna intervene on you live on the show. Yeah, Too Fat to Cook makes a good point. Unless you're Brian Alvarez, then you're big mad because Brian Alvarez doesn't consent to overruns. You know what's especially?
Let's get rid of the one of the two women's matches to make him happy.
Yeah, exactly. Let's
see you next
also
Tuesday.
Be real. Brian Alvarez lives about 30 miles, like not even 30 miles. He lives like 20 miles north of me. It's 8 p.m. at the latest when the show gets over for him. So like, what is he bitching about? Like, what are you complaining about?
He just
like people on the East Coast, it would be like 11, you know?
It was 11. And you know what? It didn't even occur to me it was 11.
Yeah, because you were having fun.
So, I don't know what the fuck.
It's okay. Too fat. I do have a glass of water. Thank you for everyone who's concerned about the condition of my throat.
I have a big glass of water.
Oh, okay. Well, I won't have to pee during the show, so.
Sorry, I like to be hydrated.
Okay. Well, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, I guess you can take a pee break if you have to. Blurry Line says, I'm in the UK. Yeah, so it's like 3 a.m. when the show gets over for you. But Blurry Line keeps the weirdest hours of anybody I've ever met before. So, like, not a vampire, not like exists at night, just like exists at all times. And Blurry Line can literally show up at any moment. Always never in the chat. Why do we put any stock in these people's words? Stock? No. I would not worry at all about what they say because they are ridiculous. It's ridiculous, clickbaity bullshit. So yeah, we got Blurry Line in the chat. Go ahead.
I have
Go
this
ahead,
new
folks.
theory though. I think with the intake of like anti-AEW sentiment right now, which is obviously coming from what we can assume is another company paying off these people again. That the best way to actually counter it this time around is to continue to call it out.
Yeah, well, I think Brian Alvarez.
I don't want
is
to
getting
give credence to the words, but
I think Brian Alvarez is getting caught in the algorithm game, and he wants to get traction online more than I think he even cares about being right. And so he just says wild shit that he knows people are going to go, look at this stupid idiot saying this thing, you know? So yeah, would the best thing be to just avoid talking about it altogether? Yeah, but it was said, and so I am acknowledging it. Tino's in the chat. What's up, buddy? Too Fat to Cook is in the chat. What is up, friend? Skewered Universe also in the chat. That's gross, dude. Oh, me clearing my throat into the mic. Yeah. Oh, the one where Macho Man keeps spinning around. Some of these comments out of context, I really don't understand what this is about, and I find that funny.
We were talking about the best promo to ever happen.
Oh yeah. Macho has a lot that would be in that category that books can't listen to because of the vocal fry.
I love him as a wrestler. I don't want to listen to him talk.
Fantastic. Yeah, Blairy, I agree. I can't believe no one asked Brian if he was okay with an overrun. Like, did TK call him ahead of time and get his consent? Check with him. Michael Allen Lewis is in the chat. What's up, buddy? Good to have you with us. Yes, always never. It's definitely engagement bait. This is why the internet has failed ultimately, is it's better to make people angry at you and quote tweet you and dunk on you and say, look at this fucking idiot. That will make you money, as opposed to like coming up with a well-constructed thought and sharing it with the world to try and make the world a better place. There is no money in that whatsoever, but there's tons of money in just pissing people off on purpose. Tons of money. That's how I know the internet is not succeeding in its current form. Yep, rage makes more money. That is exactly right. Skewered Universe podcast. If I could speak like Macho Man, I would. I could only do a decent Undertaker impression, and I hate it. Let me tell you, don't drink and drive so you don't have to rest in peace. Did you guys ever see the DUI, the anti-DUI Undertaker commercial? Yeah. Yep.
Well, I definitely have seen the Slim Jim commercials.
Yeah.
And I hate them too.
Ooh, yeah.
This is mostly probably hatred stemming from those commercials.
I loved those commercials. I thought they were great.
Well, that's because you were a wrestling fan. I was not.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Skewered Universe correctly says a Macho Man has one of the best wrestling voices ever. Books, we're going to disagree here. Michael Allen Lewis says, anger is the easiest emotion to siphon engagement. I think people are actually getting the endorphin rush from anger instead of finding things to enjoy about life now. Like, we've replaced, like, rage has replaced, like, bliss and joy. And it really shows up online. Who had the worst voice? Paul Bear or Macho Man? Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Books.
I'm only going to continue to say Macho Man because I fucking hated the Slim Jim commercials.
Oh, Macho Man, your voice needs to rest in peace. Who doesn't like snapping into a Slim Jim? Oh, yeah.
I also don't like Slim Jim. Just
Johnny Ace. Johnny Ace does have one of the most annoying voices in the world, as well as being the worst everything. Yes. I can't even do a Johnny Ace. Look, the worst voice is Brother Love. I love you. Remember that Bruce Pritchard gimmick that you saw during SummerSlam '88?
I tried
the
to
preacher guy, and he talked to Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
I tried to forget it.
It's okay. It's okay.
You're trying to torture me already?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, we're leaning into that. Always never. The last 5 years, I've tapped into what makes me happy. Earnestness and joy in the past 3. My life is so much better. It really is, right? Like, just being real, saying what you really mean, instead of trying to be, like, so cool and avoid looking cringe. I'm 46 years old. I have to be cringe. It's the law. Okay? Like, I am not cool. And being secure in my not coolness is fine.
Because I wanted a snack. That's why I ate.
Yeah. We haven't started the whole thing yet, bud. It's all right. You can.
I'm not going to eat dinner till like 8:00.
Yeah, exactly. Why was Brother Love ever associated with The Undertaker? No idea. Wow, a lot of Brother Love hate. Oh, yeah, he was Undertaker's.
I literally hated that gimmick. I'm pretty sure I had 10 pages of notes about why I hated him, but...
Yeah. Undertaker came out with Brother Love the first time he showed up in WWE, and it was like 3 months later he got replaced by Paul Bearer. Aw, thanks. Always never. I think that's why we love you, Blade. Earnest and cringe as fuck. Thank you.
There's nothing wrong with being cringe.
Thank you.
I don't care what that other generation says.
If being cringe is the worst thing that could happen to you, you are a shallow, hollow human being who honestly, yeah, I earn my cringe. It's my job to make younger generations uncomfortable and squirm, you know? Yeah, Astronema. I am cringe and I am free. That's correct.
Yeah. Someone was saying, why do millennials all don't want to go out now? It's like, because we were drinking at like 14 in garages and fields. We're tired. No, we don't.
That's true.
Despite what Blade thinks, this will be it for a solid week.
Great. All right. Paul Bearer, not a bear. Very disappointed. I felt the same way the first time I found out. I kept looking for the bear to be with the Undertaker. Never happened. Too Fat to Cook makes a good point. It costs about $300 to go out now. That is true. That is true. Antoine, what up, buddy? Live in your own skin. It's what makes you beautiful. Thank you. Let's see. Always Never. I fucking love being cringe. So freeing. Kevin Abreu, Andrade versus MJF should have been all in. I think it's. I don't think. They're not going to have a singles match, but I think it's going to lead to a singles match between the two.
Yeah.
So I think that's a long-term program. I think MJF's going to end up putting Andrade over, and we're going to get into all that. Too. The books. Are you ready to just dive into this shit? We got so much.
I'm ready.
All right.
I'm ready.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Sit Down, Shut Up, Mark Out. I'm Blade Daly, and this is a pro wrestling podcast about pro wrestling. And once again, this week I am joined by Books and Bodyslams. Books, hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. I see you're drinking on the job again. I think you're really starting to enjoy it. I was saying off before we started the podcast proper that for your 100th episode, whenever that is, we'll do an intervention live on the show. Huh? And you've got the fork that is a pen. Oh,
it's
God.
A fork.
Oh God.
It's a weapon. Listen, if they can turn a fork into a weapon, a pen fork could be a weapon.
Yeah, a pen fork. That's an invention society needs that we've never even really talked about in a serious way. But with your discovery last week that a fork could be a pen, I digress. Mine is still blown. Before we get too deep into that, though, the fork pen, I do want to just take a minute to pay tribute to Dory Funk Jr., who passed away the other day at the age of 85. One of the greatest NWA world champions when that belt was the absolute pinnacle of pro wrestling worldwide. Okay, it was the most meaningful title in the world for a good while. He defeated Gene Kiniski, who had been champion for a couple years at the end of the 60s. He carried the belt well into the 70s before finally dropping it to Harley Race. He and his brother Terry Funk were a legendary tag team in All Japan for about 15 years. They came to the WWF for a bit, where for some reason Dory was called Haas. And then once they were done with that, Terry and Dory both kind of moved into semi-retirement for a little while. And then, but they never fully retired. Terry very famously retired about 14 times, but never for real. And then he came back occasionally, and he even tagged with Terry in ECW against Public Enemy in a barbed wire tag match. Dory continued wrestling on and off for through 2017. He wrestled his last match in 2024 at the age of 83. He teamed with Osamu Nishimura against Atsushi Onita and Raijin Yaguchi in a double hell current explosion match. So 83 years old doing that. And the thing I love, a lot about Dory, he's one of the great trainers in the history of pro wrestling. He trained at the Funkin Conservatory, and some of the people he trained include Matt and Jeff Hardy, Adam Copeland and Christian, Lita, Mickey James, Kurt Angle, and many, many more. And something else that I feel is very important about the guy, he never became a sour old man who said the kids today don't know how to work. Dory certainly came from a different time, and if you ever see a Dory Funk Jr. match, it was a very different time, okay? They don't work the way Dory Funk used to work, okay? But he never let that get to him. He never let that bother him. He knew that things change. And so, he just never resisted that change. He was backstage at NXT like a few months ago. He just loved the business and he stayed very close to it. So this is the first time in nearly 30 years of watching wrestling as a wrestling fan that the Funks haven't been a part of it. Their effect on the industry is very hard to measure. Dory Sr., Dory Jr., and Terry Funk are some of the most important figures in the 20th century of pro wrestling, and they're going to be remembered forever, for real. So much love to them. Much love to Dory. R.I.P. Rest in power, my friend. So wanted to give some love to the Funks. But Book, speaking of love.
Yes.
This week, you discovered some love.
I did. And I have to say, I was pleasantly surprised by how people reacted to my question, because I was very nervous. Yeah.
And you, this week, learned what Steiner math is.
I did. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think most people... Go ahead.
I was going to say, that might be the best wrestling promo I've ever witnessed. I've watched it like 6 or 7 times now.
It's pretty great. It's pretty great. I mean, when you consider that promo was 18 years ago and people are still quoting it today.
You shut your mouth. You shut your mouth. That was not 18 years ago. It was 2009. It was 10 years. It was not even
17 years ago.
Shut
17
up.
years ago.
Shut up.
Yeah. Let's read a little bit of the chat real quick. Blurry Line says, massive respect to the Funks for never just moaning that wrestling was different to what they knew. I think part of it was that the Funks also owned their own territory. And so they knew the business evolves and you have to stay current in order to continue to draw money. So those boys growing up with their dad owning a territory probably had a big influence on them. Antoine says there it is, that part. He evolved with the business, and they were, most importantly, good people who weren't problematic in any fashion. Much love. Maybe I didn't dig deep enough, but I never heard anything negative about the Funks. I mean, look, they're men of their time. I'm sure that if you dig deep enough, you'll find something that in today's world wouldn't be as cool. But for the most part, yeah, I don't think they were problematic guys. I don't think they were inherently evil. That's for some reason a fucking great thing to be these days. Skewery Universe, I've never actually seen the full Steiner Math promo. Wow.
TNA has it up on their YouTube.
Yeah, TNA does have it up on YouTube. Go check that out. And that's the thing. With Scott Steiner, the thing about him that I found so amusing is that his entire career was built around being a genetic freak, right? He could do moves that guys his size just didn't do, flying moves, all kinds of shit. The Steiners innovated a life, innovated a life. They innovated a lot of moves that a lot of tag teams still use to this day. But when Steiner went solo, he just got absolutely fucking massive. Probably all naturally, right? Okay.
Oh yeah, that was so natural.
Yeah. And so But when he went to TNA, you know, he had regressed physically quite a lot, and he couldn't do the same shit he used to be able to do. And he became quite entertaining as a character, which I never realized Scott Steiner had that in him. I wasn't watching wrestling at the time the Steiner promo got cut, but literally like within days of getting back into wrestling, I was reading about Steiner math. And it's just one of those promos you got to see to believe. Yeah, let's see. Blair Line Books finally has contacts. So if anyone calls Samoa Joe Senior Joe now, yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Tino Ibarra, Steiner is a perfect example of why we need Abdul El Sayed, a candidate that wants to make sure Michigan schools are funded and improved. Scott Steiner is a product of the Michigan school system. That is correct. Always never says good enough for me. Don't be evil.
Up until a certain point, his math was actually correct. And then he just went off the deep end.
Yeah. Skewered Universe says, hello if you hear me. That's right. Dr. Fusion thinks Scott Steiner was such an eye roll, though. I mean, in some of his iterations, he was. But he was pretty amusing in TNA, I have to admit. Skewered Universe tripled the steroid use. What are we talking about? Kevin Abreu's in the chat saying, big question is when you die, where you going? People, Hulk Hogan resting, nobody knows. And Big Boss says, Kevin, remember, people die and getting judged go up or down. Kevin, you all right? I hope you're all right. Okay, so we're moving on. Malachi Black released a video this week, and I didn't actually care that much. How did you feel about it, Books?
I just hope that means he's not trying to get back into Tony Khan's good grace. Because I'm not ready. I think this man needs an ego check. So,
yeah.
I think that's why he went bald. Was because he saw bald was over. And went bald. So
a lot of people took...
I'm hoping Tony Khan gives him a little talking to that you got to prove yourself outside of here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of people assumed from the promo that he was going back to WWE or to AEW, sorry. And if I was Tony Khan, you know, I'm not Tony Khan. I don't know the full situation or the scope of their relationship or anything. What I would say, though, is that if I was Tony Khan, I would certainly make him prove himself. He's got to realize, hey, you just got released for the second time by WWE, even after being a good boy and coming back from AEW. So you don't have a future there. Like, if you're going to wrestle in the States and you want to make the most money, your goal should probably be to go back to AEW. However, I'm not sure if the door is even open to that, you know, so we'll see. We'll see, but I'm not excited about the prospect of his return. I have to be real about that. Always never. That Steiner promo was so fucking good, mainly as the match was correct. Blurry Line says bald and then responds with bald. That's true. He likes guns and being bald, Skewered Universe says. Too Fat to Cook says he's going to TNA. Don't quote me. I don't think that's out of the question. I think there's TNA. There's maybe New Japan is a possible landing spot. Maybe a brief run somewhere in like MLW or something. You know, it's a case of, you know, it is so evident to me that the locker room themselves didn't enjoy his presence. And I think that's a big problem for him, you know. That's a big problem.
Look at how over everyone else is now. It's
right.
Clear who the problem was. Main question, I think he should go in the indies and learn how to take a pin before even thinking he can snap fuck. Yeah. Tino Ibarra says he needs to go to TNA. Let Carlos Silva deal with that. Fellow balds, they can deal with each other. You know, I mean, you know, Malachi's new to the club, and maybe Carlos can show him some of the ropes.
Blurry Line says, just point at Andrade and say, if you want in, you got to work like that fucking guy. Yeah. Look at the turnaround in Andrade. So I think that that's something you have to acknowledge the possibility of at the very least, right?
I also think Andrade left to fix things with his wife. He never actually left on bad terms.
Right.
And I think because he was honest with Tony Khan from the beginning, made a huge difference. And I think it also made fans more receptive. Because I never and I get Malachi Black also probably wanted to be with his wife. But every other backstage rumor kind of ruined that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Always Never says MLW, who I want back is Buddy Matthews, and he is cleared. So
he is clear.
That's exciting. Also, the timing with Malachi releasing that video this week was like, wait, what?
My only concern is now Rhea is out. And just had knee surgery. So I think we are going to probably wait a little. Like, I think Buddy is going to wait till she's a little more.
Okay.
Yeah, she had like knee surgery yesterday or something, or a couple of days ago. So I think that probably will delay Buddy Matthews a little bit.
Okay.
Because he's a good husband. So.
Yeah. And that's fair. Pippin says Malachi anywhere but AEW. Michael Allen Lewis says, well, Joey Janela implies that he's ready to return to AEW, and I'm here for it. I would honestly love a motivated Joey Janela in AEW. That would be a lot of fun.
Well, and you can also throw him with Divine Dominion. He already has matching gear. So
yeah, he does.
There could be our new trios.
It's always been
Megan Bayne and Leah Cross can have amazing trios matches with like the entire men's locker room, because
I do think they should make the trios intergender. I do think they should.
Yeah.
That would be a lot of fun. Get more women on the show too, you know. Skeward says Joey Janela back in AEW would be cool. I like Joey. Always Never says he's sold. Tino Ibarra says Buddy seems like a good dude. Skewer Universe says Andrade wanted to try and save a marriage, and unfortunately that went awry. Yes. He seems like a guy who's also been in therapy too, which I think guys go to therapy. Every man needs therapy. And if you can go to therapy, do it. It's a really good idea. So books, I did something really smart this week. I posted about how overrated I also feel Roman Reigns is on Threads as a main eventer.
I did not look at those comments yet because, man, you were brave.
Yeah, well, a lot of people actually
agreed. I wouldn't
agreed.
even say that.
It started because Conrad Thompson said it on his podcast with Eric Bischoff that he called him an industry plant. I'm not going quite that far, but I did say for 6 years, he was like pushed and he wasn't even over. Like people didn't even want him there.
He got over when he came back from.
The thing is, the thing is, he got over when he came back and turned heel, which is what everybody had wanted them to do for a long time. And I'm not saying Roman has no talent. I'm just saying he got an opportunity that no one else has ever received, which is like, you're the top guy no matter what, whether you're over or not, where you're going to be main eventing WrestleManias, whether you deserve to or not, whether the crowd likes you or not, and whether anybody wants to see you or not. And how many fans did they run off over those 6 years? They burned through an entire generation of stars doing jobs for Roman to get him over so Vince could get his way instead of listening to the audience.
Yeah. Well, Roman is right up there, unfortunately, with the Usos and just people, I think, who have like the same like 3 moves that they do over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And other than being somewhat personable, I don't think they're that strong in the ring. So I do think he's overrated. Someone else posted like, Roman may be a top 10, but he'll never be a GOAT. Because he's not strong in the ring. Like, you can't compare him to actual GOATs that we talk about in terms of wrestling. Look at Kenny Omega. They're about the same age, right? Same build, but you look at Kenny's moveset, and then you look at Roman's moveset. Who do you want to watch?
Yeah. Yeah.
You can name 1,000 Kenny matches that are great. I can't name a single great Roman Reigns match.
No. What I would say too is Roman's only real gift is aura. That's all he's really got.
Yes.
Like the guy jacks off his fist before he punches people and hits 50 fucking spears in a match. And there's all this like thespian dialogue in his matches where he's cutting promos in the middle of matches, basically. And shitloads of interference. Like he's not a top 10. He's not.
No.
He's just not.
Yeah.
Like
an unpopular opinion, Sami Zayn was the best part of the bloodline.
Yeah.
I said it. I said it. When Sami Zayn was in the bloodline, that was the best bloodline.
Vince just got very inured from like actual consequences because all he really cared about was his stock price. And so as long as the stocks were doing well and the company was making a shitload of money, he just said, fuck the fans, I'll do what I want. Yeah. And he budged one time when the crowd really pushed him on Daniel Bryan. He budged one time and then he was like, never again. I'm never giving you fuckers anything ever again. This guy's going over, period. And people tried to bring up comparisons to John Cena and Hulk Hogan. And what I'll say is this. Hulk Hogan in the AWA in 1983, Hulk Hogan was arguably the most popular wrestler in America. Okay. And then he went to WWF and for 6 years was white hot. Okay. Whether I liked him or not, whether we like him in reflection or not, that's just true. Okay. People did get sick of Hulk because they went with him for way too long, but he was hugely over. And that's why he was where he was. John Cena got over by doing this kind of Vanilla Ice rapper character, right? Where he like that got over with the audience and it got him into the position he eventually became a part of. Before he was the world champion, he got over. And yes, people got sick of him and they got sick of Super Cena and all that. But that was after they had loved him. You know, Roman Reigns was the exact opposite. Nobody wanted him in that position. Then he got to that position anyway. Then he stayed in that position for 6 years. Then he disappeared to take care of his personal health, which God bless him. Like, good for you, buddy. You should prioritize that. And then he came back and they finally let him do things that he wanted to do. They turned him heel. They let Paul Heyman write his creative and Vince wasn't involved in it anymore. And surprise, he got over.
I have a fun confession. I actually like John Cena, so like, I don't even think they should be in the same conversation.
Roman is nowhere near as like, Roman is not a transformational figure. Okay.
No,
like I mean, comparing him.
Like, John Cena has done outside of wrestling too for like Make-A-Wish and stuff. He like, I don't know.
I have my feelings about John and it's not that important really, but like,
I have some issues with him and some people he continues to support because it gave me a chance. But John Cena was one of the first wrestlers first t-shirt I ever bought because I went to that random ass Raw and while I did not have fun, I enjoyed John Cena. So to me, will always have a little special place in my heart. So
the only wrestler when I wasn't watching wrestling that I heard anybody talk about outside of a wrestling audience from kids was John Cena. I would hear John Cena. Now, John Cena was just getting his big push when I stopped watching. And that was part of the reason why. I will be honest about that. I didn't really care for that much. But
I mean, John Cena was pushed because kids loved him. Yeah. Roman doesn't have the same appeal.
No, and Roman, again, it's all aura, you know? So he can walk exceptionally slow. I will give him that. And that's to do a 12-minute entrance is not an easy thing. Okay. It's not an easy thing. And he does it just about as well as anyone's ever done it. Cause I think no one's else. He walks slower than the Undertaker. Like that motherfucker walked slow, you know?
Yeah.
Let's see what the chat has to say about all this real quick before we move on. I don't want to waste too much time talking about Roman Reigns. Pippin would love to see Janela back. Skewered Universe says therapy works, guys. It really does. It really does if you try. Pippin also says Roman is the ultimate Nepo baby. I mean, he is. He's a top guy that was decided before he ever had a singles career. I think Vince McMahon did it based on looks alone. That was the entire reason.
I feel like
picked
he
Roman.
wanted another Rock.
Yeah. Yeah. You're still here talking about bad about Roman on social media? Yes, I am. Tino Ibarra. Yeah, but you can't tell Roman fans because they don't want to hear it. Someone tried to tell me Roman was a better wrestler than Athena.
Okay, this makes me curious what Roman Reigns' cage match ratings are.
I have no idea. I'm
looking it up.
You look it up.
Just a giggle.
Michael Allen Lewis, Roman got hot off an angle about being in a faction of Nepo babies that were all related.
Okay, he somehow has a 7.3. I do not believe that.
I would have Roman in the 6s somewhere, yeah.
Same.
Roman was only good in the Shield as the quiet enforcer. I do feel that was his best role. Outside of that, what has he done other than benefit from who he's related to?
By the way, Athena has an 8.57. So
yeah,
even Cage Match knows that was a bullshit take.
And Cage Match is bullshit. I mean, and not because the people who run the website are bullshit. It's because people hate vote on people there all the fucking time, and it sucks.
By the way, Kenny has a 9.58.
Yeah, Kenny has a 9.58. And do you know how many zeros and ones he has in there? It's crazy. Too Fat to Cook says all of Roman's matches are the same. Always never says Roman is the perfect WWE guy. It's a wrestler. Even Orange Cassidy has a better Superman punch. Skewered Universe says WWE loves nepotism. Look how hard they pushed Randy before he was ready. I've never liked Randy Orton either, to be honest with you. Like people say, like, oh, he's one of the greatest in the ring, and I'm like, yeah, really? No,
he has a great theme song.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's all it really is.
I always thought Randy's matches were pretty cookie cutter as well. I didn't think there was anything that special about him. Who's this? Professor Degree? Oh man. Roman Reigns doesn't even have as much charisma as the Ultimate Warrior. He's absolutely not in the same conversation as Hogan or Cena. He is in the same conversation as all the motherfuckers Professor Degree never wants to ever see or talk about ever again. Yeah, I had to break that up into 2 posts. Well, okay, Degree, fine. If Roman ever left WWE, he's cooked. His whole appeal is the IP Roman Reigns. Nobody wants Leati Joseph Anoa'i. Yeah. Yes. Skewered Universe. John Cena isn't my type of wrestler. He didn't click with me as the prototype, and I never cared for his other gimmick. He's not for me, and that's okay. Yeah.
I had the
and he went
fact,
really hard into the little kids kind of shtick for a long time, and that is hard to watch. I think WWE from like 2005 to like 2023 is terrible. It's really, 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 really bad. Really bad. And I wouldn't know about anything after that because I haven't watched it. But like, I still would check out clips occasionally. Blair Line said, I said this to books on Threads, but WWE fans need to be convinced that Roman is like a figure who spills beyond wrestling. And I really don't think he is. No one's like copying the bloodline. No. And least of all, somebody said he has turkey teeth. And that did make me laugh.
He has little chiclets. Yeah, no, Roman Reigns is not. They wanted him to be the next John Cena. They wanted him to be the next Rock. That's not going to happen. Because, again, I was not a wrestling fan, and I knew who John Cena was. I knew who The Rock was. Like, I remember because it was on the local radio station, and Isaac was Mr. Books was a wrestling fan, and said something. It was talking about Roman Reigns. And they were like, I was like, oh, that's that wrestling guy. And I was like, oh, he has leukemia. And I said, oh, that sucks. But because it was a Stanford radio station, so it somehow was paid to be talked about. So.
Sure. Well, and like, I don't think Roman Reigns is a talentless hack. I just don't think he deserved to get all the WrestleMania main events. I don't think he deserved all of the acclaim. When there were people a few years ago before he lost that very long title reign where he defended the belt like 7 total times in 1,300 days or whatever it was. Like, when people were calling him the greatest of all time, I was like, okay, this is bullshit. This is utter fucking bullshit. It's just not true. Blurry Line does make a good point. Blurry Line says, in his defense, Roman does do that neat little apron dropkick thing, the drive-by. I do think that's a cool move, and I do have a match that I can point to as one of Roman's really good matches, and it's even when he was Shield Vest Roman. He wrestled the Big Show, and I think it was in a Last Man Standing match at an Extreme Rules pay-per-view that I saw, and it was a really good match, and Big Show is not the kind of guy that can carry you to a great match if it's not a good match. He's too big to do that. So he's not a worker's worker. And it was genuinely a really good match. It was a lot of fun and entertaining, but it was like a mid-card match, which is exactly where Roman belongs.
Yeah.
Antoine, when I was on vacation last year, I met someone on the cruise who went to school with Cena. The Cena we get on TV in the shorts and t-shirt was really him. That's the difference. Roman's manufactured. Yeah.
Yeah.
Professor
I do genuinely think Cody, oh my God, John Cena's not a bad guy. Minus his weird, which he's just of the wrestlers that have a weird attachment to that pervert that was their boss. I don't think he's a bad guy. Like, I genuinely think when you see him interact, there was a video of him hugging someone who was talking about him going through chemo and cancer, and he was just like talking about how like John Cena's never give up, like really like, and like John Cena unasked went down and hugged him, and I was like, I hate that he respects still that pervert, but God, he's not a bad person. And I can't shit on him for that.
Yeah, I could do without him trying to do the therapy talk stuff to rationalize his behavior. It's like, John, you're not smarter than all of us. You're really not. You're actually exposing that you're stupid right now. So shut up with that and show a little more respect, but whatever. Professor Degree makes a great point, and I could verify that this is true. He does it sometimes before we go on the air with Pro Wrestling Forever. I used to do that arm cock thing Roman does when I would go bowling. Fucker stole it from me. It's true.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what else was stolen from you today, Professor Degree?
What?
I won't say it.
Oh. Do I know?
You did something.
Oh, yeah, Degree. I paid tribute to you before you got here. During the intro music to the podcast, I cleared my throat directly into the mic as a tribute to you. Because I wanted you to know that we were thinking about you. Yeah, I stole your gimmick. Oh, yeah, Degree was waiting with bated breath. Yes. But yeah, I said out loud, Degree's not here. Should I clear my throat into the mic? And then I did it. Yeah. Okay, we'll read one more here from Astronema. Rhea over Roman. When I started watching again, she was easily the most over wrestler in that company. Yeah, she really was. And okay, Yeti Malone says Rhea got over because she's cool. WWE kept telling the audience that Roman was cool.
Yeah.
That's a huge
Rhea's
difference.
just a badass. Rhea is who Roman wants to be, but he just doesn't have
There was a lot more juice in the Roman hate than I expected. So we're going to move on now to somebody who doesn't suck, but has kind of sucked at other times. But we're focusing on him for not sucking.
Oh, okay.
And that's the real Latino man.
Oh.
Andrade El Idolo. I could not help it, Books. When they were in Arena, Mexico, the environment was insane. The atmosphere was crazy. That first shot of the arena was so good. But when Andrade's music hit and he came out with those baddies
video and that new video,
I was like, there is one of your next top baby faces, period.
Let's talk about the fact that this man got over after publicly admitting he cheated on his wife. And is now one of the most over men that somehow has made a lot of women, and I dare say a few men, go, yeah, you know what? That Andrade.
Yeah. When my lady gets thirsty for Andrade, I'm like, honey, I understand. It's okay.
We all get it.
Like, you just do you. You just do you. I mean, I get if you do Andrade too. Like it's okay.
It's how you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to argue with that. Okay. We know the man is outrageously attractive. But I really do feel like I was concerned with the how you know thing at first. And I even talked about it kind of recently. Is like, I didn't want the catchphrase to get bigger than him, because if it does, people will get sick of the catchphrase eventually. You know what I mean? They like saying it right now, but wrestling fans are fickle as fuck. So, but he's proven to me at this point that he's transcending just a catchphrase. Like, it's the energy, it's the love,
the confidence,
the love of performance, you know, that he exudes from every pore. And, you know,
I just want to know, where was this Andrade his first run? Because holy fuck, he would have had the world title already if he was this. And I get a huge reason why he left was to fix his marriage. I'm not gonna shit on the man for that. But man, where was this man? Where was this Andrade his first time in AEW? Like, this is now the blueprint of, you return, you have to be like Andrade.
Yeah.
Because
seems like, I don't know, maybe he really did go to therapy, because this guy is just different than the guy who left.
He's talked about it. He's talked about it.
That's good. That's good.
I think everything with Charlotte kind of made him.
Yeah, good. But yeah, he's for years, I would say to people, Andrade is an amazing wrestler, and people would be like, that guy? Like, really? Like, he doesn't do anything for me. And it was because he was great in the ring, but as a character, he was just kind of nothing, you know, like, even when he was trying his hardest, he just wasn't much of a character. And, you know, the last time he was in AEW, I mean, his character was basically like, I'm rich and I'll throw my money around. He had a faction at one point that had like 18 people in it. It was at least as big as the Don Callis family, perhaps bigger. It's just crazy. So he was always good, but did he feel essential? No. The in-ring was always there, but the character and charisma were just kind of nothing. And I specifically remember when he left for WWE, people said they didn't care. You know, I remember one specific post, somebody saying, who cares about Andrade when we have Roosh? And I was like, that bummed me out, you know, because I was also disappointed in Andrade's run, but I wasn't like, I didn't think he was a bad wrestler. You know what I mean? I knew he was a good wrestler. He just was a failed experiment in my eyes, you know?
It's funny. I wasn't surprised when he left.
Mm-hmm.
I put him on the list of people that would go because of their wives. So, are their partners.
But now that guy who was nothing kind of character-wise before is cool, confident, charismatic. He's authentic. He's impossible to ignore. And so we have to look at like what changed. And I think we have located some of that is, you know, guy went to therapy, maybe hit a rock bottom point where he wanted to turn things around for himself. But the love of pro wrestling seems to permeate through him every second he's on camera. I remember he won the global heavyweight title in New Japan earlier this year. And he was in the headline match on that show, and he gave an English promo after, and I had never seen him. He talked for like 5 minutes. I had never seen him do that before. And I was like, Jesus Christ, this dude could be a huge fucking star. Like, it's only grown since then.
Something in his own mentality switched, right? Like, whether it was therapy or whatnot, something switched.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this is why therapy is great, but it's a different Andrade at the end of the day. Like, this is someone who hit rock bottom. This is someone who picked himself up from probably one of the worst moments of his life and came back, asked for forgiveness,
owned his mistakes as well.
And that's probably why I love Andrade, because never have I seen, very rarely do you see a man that goes, I fucked up. Do not blame Charlotte. It was me. I'm the one who strayed. I'm the one who did this. Do not go after her.
I was a terrible husband. You know?
I was a terrible husband. And like, somehow that is very attractive, because it's very rare for people to do that, right? Very rare for people to say like, I was the problem. I'm the one who fucked up. I'm the one owning it. Like, it shows growth. It shows becoming a man. He went from a boy to a man.
Mm-hmm. And in the Cathedral of Lucha Libre, you know, in Arena, Mexico, for him to come out to the reception that he got when he had his back to the crowd and they showed his face looking at the screen and they're going, Idolo, Idolo. Fucking chills. Fucking
I felt
chills.
that for him. I was like, this man must be. I think I'm sure to feel the crowd and like have that love on you after what was like a really bad year must feel so great. And you can just, I feel like he almost broke.
Mm-hmm.
Because it must have been such a great moment for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and you know, lots of wrestlers get great hometown reactions. This did not feel like that.
No.
He wasn't simply loved because he's from Mexico. Like,
no.
He's carrying himself like somebody who belongs at the top of the card, period.
Yeah.
Period.
When he first got here, I was unsure how much, like, I wanted him in the main picture scene. And now I'm like, as much as I would love to see, like, Swerve and Will, I'm like, oh my God, like, I want Will to have a nice run, but I'm also like, can we just put it on Andrade now? Like, capitalize on that, this, like, real, authentic, like, heat. Not in, like, good heat. Like, I'm talking, like, fire. Like, not, like, bad, like, heel heat. Like, there's
right.
there's a fire around this man. And capitalize on that. I don't like when they do that, but I'm like, oh, man. Like, put it on him now.
Well, and he was, you know, like, he was always a good looking guy, right? He was always a great wrestler. His in-ring was always fantastic. And he got to show a lot of it in AEW, you know? But the difference between that aloof, detached heel Andrade and this guy is that he feels like warm, you know?
Yeah.
Like he smiles, he's joking, he's interacting, he feels like he's having fun, and his charisma is contagious. And I'm going to make a comparison here after I read some chats. Let's see what people are saying. Antoine says, Andrade is the most perfect example of how AEW can rehab somebody who failed the first time. I was one of those people. I was incredibly disappointed. Yeah, I saw him in NXT when he wrestled Johnny Gargano in NXT. They had a classic in Philadelphia when Andrade was the NXT champion. And I just saw the potential in him in that match. It was like, this dude's got it. He's got it. Like, he's going to do big things. And then he went to the main roster, didn't do shit, and I stopped watching. Player Live makes the fair point that being attractive really does make people want to see your best side. That is true. That is true.
I also think him owning it has made it a lot easier.
Yes, absolutely.
Because
Pippin does.
I was going to boo the fuck out of him.
Yeah, I think he would have gotten booed. You know, we live in a parasocial time. People know more about you than you want them to. So, you know, you gotta, like, you know, if you cheat on your wife, they're gonna know. You know, Pippin, Andrade makes more straight men question their sexuality than anyone. That is absolutely true, except maybe Kenny Omega. I mean, they're kind of like in parallel lanes there. Tony Montoya, my cousin, where do I sign up to be one of the hotties that Andrade takes a selfie with?
Get in line. Get in line.
It's a long line, dude. It's a long line.
It's a long line.
Always Never. How you know made no sense, and I loved it anyway. He reinvented the fuck out of himself. Skewer Universe says thirsting for Andrade is as essential as breathing to survive. Absolutely. I remember when he showed up and he attacked Kenny, and that was that one appearance he made before he disappeared for like 4 months. And I remember just the timeline was like, oh my God, Andrade looks amazing. Like, it was just people thirsting after Andrade. He was only on screen for like a minute.
I remember writing, I don't want to be thirsting after this man. Like, we just found out he was like let go, probably because he didn't want to work with Charlotte anymore because it was a little uncomfortable. So we just find out he's cheated on his wife. He might have a love child, and yet you're sitting there going, oh man, he looks good. Sorry, Charlotte. Yeah. Blurry Line 7. I think they got to be sparing with it. The whole exploding skateboard use of the catchphrase is a perfect example of doing it right. I agree. They have to set it up for him to say it in a way that makes sense. And he can still wrap it into like some kind of like half-sensical thing occasionally. But Skewered Universe podcast says, how you know isn't going to end up as the most annoying catchphrase
to ever exist in pro wrestling because we have the what chance. Yeah, that's right. Thank you, Steve Austin, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time with one of the worst catchphrases of all time. Blurry Lines. What?
What?
No, don't what me. Do not what me. This is my show. Don't what me. Blurry Line 7. His first time, he was treating it as a side quest until he could go back to WWE. Now he knows he's genuinely moved on and closed that chapter of his life and is fully committed to his AEW run. I think that's really what it is. Is like he knows he's in AEW, he's in it to win it, and he has an actual chance in AEW to like main event. And I think he went to WWE and realized real quick that they weren't serious about him at all. He does some cool mind control on Brandy Rhodes that one time to make her set her own husband on fire. When Andrade wrestled Cody and Brandy set a table on fire and Cody.
Oh God, I forgot about that.
Cody superplexed him, I think, through the burning table, but Cody's the one who fell on the table. And it's like, why would you even, these guys aren't even feuding. This is just a Dynamite match. Like, what are you doing? They were like really desperate to get the crowd to respect Cody. Tino makes a great point. It was also a homecoming. CMLL is where he started out. He's been back before in between AEW and WWE, but he's a superstar now. It was cool to see. Yes. Always never says Andrade needs to be men's world champ in the next 6 months. Yeah, I think he needs to be a perennial contender for the world title. And I think him getting attacked by MJF after the match is foretelling good things, because I think by MJF still carrying the Triple B and claiming to be the champion still, when Andrade finally does beat him and grabs that belt and holds it over his head, it's like gonna be like kind of like this guy's on that level now, you know? Yeah. Too Fat to Cook says, speaking of worst catchphrases, starting to hate "You've Been Cursed."
You've been cursed.
Don't sing this. No. Joe Hendry also sucks.
It's badly stuck in my head. Like, it's not like because it's catchy, because it's so dumb. It's just permanently stuck in my head because I hate it.
Michael Allen Lewis says, I'd rather see MJF versus Andrade at All In instead of Casino Gauntlet participants. Fix it, TK. I think they're going to be the biggest part of that match. I think that's why they've been put in the position that they're in.
I think this is the start of an ongoing feud.
Blurry Line says, I don't like the whole I'm still champ gimmicks, especially with the AEW men's title, but I do think that MJF has the best possible chance of making that work. I think he can. He came across as like psychotic and delusional. He's unhinged because he really thinks he didn't lose. Like, in his mind, Kenny did not win. Yes. And to be very honest, I've had a lot of MJF fatigue. I want him to stay out of the main. I want him to stay out of the title picture for at least a year. I don't want to see him with the title. Yeah, I agree. Man, I want to see him lose his fucking mind, where he thinks he's still the champion. Yeah. And the man's championship matches. Yes. Yeti Malone, they're running the gimmick into the groundhouse.
Oh, they're going to get their money for it, right?
Yeah. Well, they're going to get it all at once, and then he won't be worth anything because they'll have destroyed the entire allure of Danhausen. Michael Allen Lewis says, don't forget Yeet. Yeah, Yeet was bad. Oh, my God. Always Never. I low-key love how MJF is used to get faces over. And Blurry Line says, MJF is in full stop the steal mode. I wouldn't. It's funny because when people were trying to make this comparison, like, oh, MJF is copying Roman Reigns. I don't understand how one true champion and one tribal chief are even the same fucking thing when he started this because his bloodline people turned on him, and MJF is a delusional little fuck who I'm seeing more. Unfortunately, I'm thinking he's going to pull a little from a certain someone in the White House for this. Maybe. Okay, so the comparison I'm going to make with Andrade is a little on the nose. However, I feel it's apt. This dude's starting to really remind me of Eddie Guerrero in a very positive way. He is not Eddie Guerrero. I'm not saying he's just like Eddie Guerrero. He's very much his own guy. But that enthusiasm and charisma and celebratory atmosphere that you feel when he comes out. That's how I felt when Eddie was in WWE, quite honestly. That was Eddie at the very height of his run, you know? And Andrade had that vibe when he came out this week. There is that effortless charm. They don't wrestle alike. Obviously, Andrade does the Three Amigos, which is a tribute to Eddie. But everything feels natural. The crowd wants to love him. He is confident, but he's not. He's confident. He's even a bit arrogant, but it doesn't come across like dickish. He's cool without trying too hard. He radiates joy and a love for performance that requires no words. That's what reminds me of Eddie. That's what reminds me of Eddie Guerrero, because that's what you got from Eddie Guerrero.
I still see it mixed with, you know what I'm about to say?
Yeah.
The aura of Scott Hall.
Oh, Skewered Universe, save me. Once Danhausen stops selling merch, WWE will kick him to the curb real quick. Probably.
People are already sick of it. What you see people online that are just like, this is so stupid. Why is he here? Why did he get a SummerSlam match?
Oh, the WWE fan base doesn't actually understand what made him successful in the first place. They view it in this very linear, like very obvious way. And when they run out of the obviousness of what makes him funny, they'll just give up on him. Also, One True Champ has been used for like 30 years at least. We were talking about that before we started the stream. Yeah. Tino Ibarra asks, which is worse, yeet or no yeet?
No yeet.
No yeet is worse. Yeah. OTC also means over the counter, so people are just fucking stupid. Tino Ibarra makes a great point. There's also a lot of Latin lover and AAA contemporary of Eddie in Andrade. Yes. And Skewer Universe says it's the natural charisma that Eddie exuded that Andrade also does. You know, I'm not saying Andrade can be the Eddie Guerrero of AEW. That is in the title of this episode, the live stream, because I wanted the keywords. I'm going to be honest with you. I wanted people to see the stream, but he's not a carbon copy by any stretch. I don't care if he exactly replicates the success of Eddie Guerrero or any of that, but this guy who just kind of fills your heart when he comes out. That's what I take from him. That's what I take from him. And while we're talking about that, because of Grand Slam Mexico, I just want to spend a minute talking about AEW's kind of lucha renaissance since they've really embraced this partnership with CMLL. It's not the relationship WWE has with AAA, right? Like WWE owns AAA, right? This is strictly collaborative. We're not changing CMLL. CMLL is not changing us. We're sharing. We're both participating. New Japan has done this for decades. They've had global partnerships, right? But the influx of the Hechiceros and Hechicero and Mascara Dorada and Persephone and all these other people who've come in have brought this, unique take on what lucha is. That's why it was so upsetting to me when the Undertaker's like, well, yeah, it's not all just flying around and flips and stuff anymore. It's like, dude, motherfucker, have you watched Hechicero? Like that, he's not flying around.
No.
Like he's doing Yahweh submissions and shit.
He has not watched anything other than four people, and they're not AEW are.
Yeah. It just feels natural, and so many of the AEW performers are obviously influenced by lucha, or they were influenced by people who were influenced by lucha. Mm-hmm. Jushin Liger was influenced by Lucha Libre. That's where you get the Jushin Liger look. That's where you get so much of his moveset, because he spent time in Canada and Mexico before he came back to Japan and started wrestling there.
I would even say the Young Bucks.
Oh, the Young Bucks are massively influenced by lucha.
Seeing the Young Bucks in Arena Mexico was really, because
mm-hmm.
a lot of their style is from lucha, and it was great to see them.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. And it's, it's like all those West Coast indie guys that ended up becoming big. Jack Perry, Orange Cassidy, who is not a West Coast guy, but did spend time in the West Coast. All those guys are influenced by Lucha, and it's a big part of what makes them. Skewer Universe, he's the closest we'll get to having another Eddie Guerrero, but he's his own person. But the feeling you get watching him is the same as watching Eddie back in the day. Yeah, exactly. Blurry Line says, I can also see the similarity between Eddie's later WWE run, the I'm an Addict era, where Andrade is also someone forming a truer bond with the fans once he's admitted his shortcomings. That's a great point. Yeah. Tino, it's crazy how much Eddie's influence is all over AEW, maybe more than the other place. Yeah, I agree with you. Mm-hmm. Always never fun, earnest, natural charisma, and can wrestle his ass off. Andrade is him. Yeah. And it's so cool to see, it's just so cool to see somebody be their best self. And for me, as somebody who believed in him and really thought he was meant for great things in his first AEW run, to feel like a fool to the people I vouched for him to watch him prove me right all these years later, very cool. Very fucking cool. Antoine, AEW getting on board with MLW has just straight grown the love of various types of wrestling in the States. Yeah. Antoine, are we taking advice from the guy who said Jeebers Christ? Larry Line, sick burn. Lucha without the seal of authenticity is pretty cool, as it turns out. Yeah. Tino Ibarra, Yave submissions have a longer history in Lucha Libre than high flying. You'd think somebody booking a Lucha promotion would know that. They don't, as it turns out. Yes. But, look at Bandito. Bandito's almost like a hybrid of like a Rey Mysterio babyface with that Eddie Guerrero vibe too, where it's like he can connect with anyone. He's the preeminent babyface.
I have never put the two and two together. Like
Ray
while watching
Bandito?
while watching older like WCW Ray matches, I'm like, holy shit, that's Bandito.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And like the same way that Ray could connect with an audience just through his work is Bandito doing the same thing, having a match. And by the end of every match that Bandito has, when he was first in AEW, the crowd didn't know him that well. But by the end of literally every match he was in, the crowd was going, Bandito, Bandito, doing the one-handed press slams. Yeah. Yeah. Doing the fucking, Jesus Christ, him and Hangman doing the fucking buckshot 21 plex in the trios match this week. Like crazy shit. Secure Universe. So wait, did WWE not invent Lucha Libre?
To WWE fans, WWE is, of course, the one and only. Everyone copies WWE. WWE has invented all styles of wrestling, has invented everything. Nothing existed prior to WWE. It doesn't matter that CMLL is older than WWE.
It's older than WWE. It's older than every wrestling territory there is. It's over 90 years old. Like, it's crazy.
93. It said 93 on the...
Yeah, because I remember the MJF Mystico match. It was like 92nd anniversary, or I'm sorry, I don't speak Spanish, but that was obvious. Michael Allen Lewis, AEW is bringing back the territory days with my AEW and all the Indian international shows being more accessible. That is so true. Well said. Well said. By the way, wrestling was way bigger during the territory days. Don't let WWE fool you. Right. Wrestling as an entity was bigger then. WWE became bigger when everybody else got smaller. That's they've used the corporatism in the cartoons and the all that shit to kind of change history to like I've seen people say like without WWE we wouldn't even have wrestling. It's like shut the fuck up.
It existed. Like
for like 100 years.
I learned that from Iron Claw.
Yep. Tino Ibarra, Bandito even does the Eddie shimmy before he does the frog splash. Yep. Security Universe, but CMLL isn't a part of the WWE universe, so it's not big time. Tino Ibarra, to be fair, AAA wanted to be WWE for a while, so they finally got what they wanted. Hope it was worth it. Yeah, they wanted to sell. Since Pena died, pretty much. They had been trying to coax WWE to buy them for quite a while. My AEW is literally my favorite thing of AEW existing. Says always never. And I have logged in to it just without a VPN because it doesn't have the entire back catalog. I don't want to like ditch my Max subscription and just go for that. But them providing CMLL pay-per-views with English commentary so I can really fully understand the backstories and stuff. Like, dude, I'm definitely doing that.
My AEW is proof how much Tony Khan loves and respects the business. We lost Blade. So, yeah, we lost Blade, guys. This is fun. But, yeah, to me, my AEW is... Oh, hello, you're back.
Sorry about that.
Oh, not just me. I get very awkward when he disappears like that. Oh my god, am I going to have to keep doing this? Which is fine, because I have the notes, and I totally can. But I know he's coming back, and I'm like, oh, man.
Blair Light makes a great point here. WWE's success has always been, how can we shrink the wrestling pool until we're the biggest fish? That is exactly right. That is exactly right.
Maybe that's why that guy believes AEW came around to spite WWE. Because
Jesus Christ, like what a fucking bootlicking little bitch. Jesus.
It just got really sunny in my office, by the way.
Nice.
Like I don't know if it blinded you guys because it blinded me.
Another guy who gives me big Rey Mysterio vibes though is Commander.
Yes.
And he's smaller than Bandito, so he reminds me of that Rey Mysterio from WCW, you know, where he's like very skinny and just like you have no idea what this little dude is about to do. Oh my god. Oh great.
I'm giving the people what they want.
God damn it, Skeward. Why do you encourage this? Why do you encourage this? For the people at home who are listening to this podcast, Books brought out stuffed Kenny Omega, and he's doing a little dance right now. Tino Ibarra says, Veda does such a good job of calling the Lucha Libre matches. There's a lot of nuances and some different rules. Veda is really good at making that easy to understand. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, being able to watch New Japan with English commentary is what made me a diehard New Japan guy, because I got it. I got the full 360-degree view of what was great. Of course, the matches were great no matter what, but actually understanding the motivation of the characters and the wrestlers, that's what made the difference for me. And so I want the same thing for all wrestling that is in a language I don't understand, because I want to be able to watch it all and understand it all, you know? So yeah.
It makes me think they are actually kind of signed to AEW.
Veda?
The connection to them. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's something to that. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Blurry Line says, if you put Commander versus Hechicero as a pay-per-view opener, you have your own Ray versus Psychosis. That is true. That is true.
I know that match. Match.
Yes, you saw that match with us on beach.
I loved that
Bash
match.
at the Beach, 96.
That was
best match of the show.
Well,
I know Scott Hall was in the main event, but you know, like actual, like because of the guys wrestling.
Oh yeah, that was the top match. But
yeah,
but
you're like, oh yeah, not even close. That was definitely better, but yeah.
But it was no Scott Hall.
Yeah. So, yeah, Skewer Universe, Commander and Bandito are like two different ends of the Rey Mysterio spectrum. Pre and post strength building supplements. Very well said.
I still hate that WWE potentially saw Ray being picked up by AEW and just took him away.
Oh, that's exactly what happened. Because Ray hadn't been under WWE contract for years before that.
Would have loved to see it. I also, unpopular opinion, would love to see what Dominic would be capable of if you put him with some of these talents.
Well, the streets are saying he's not very happy right now, so that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, let's get him out of there. Free Dominic.
Yeah. Michael Allen Lewis says Walker Stewart and Chris Charlton are also awesome for international commentary. They are. I love it when Walker does Stardom, because that's another promotion that it's hard to like fully understand what's going on if you don't have the commentary in a language that you understand. And he doesn't do it for every show. I wish they did. Because I enjoy Stardom, but I would enjoy it so much more if I knew the history of all the various stables and all the various factions and stuff, because Stardom is completely faction based. And I know people like my buddy Antoine, diehard Stardom fan, knows everything about this stuff. And I'm sure he'd be willing to sit down and explain it all to me, but how much would I possibly retain? I'm not very smart. Screwy Universe clarifies, not saying Bandito is not natural because he seems to work hard to be that fucking strong. Who knows? But goddamn, he's great. Yeah, Tino Ibarra makes the obvious point. Just learn Japanese and Spanish, Blade. Jeez. So I actually contemplated that because one, I should learn Spanish anyway, just because it's very useful to know Spanish. It's not that useful to know Japanese. And it's very difficult to learn. So
I can attest. I started learning and I gave up.
Yeah. Antoine, they are doing more English commentary. Stardom, the 5-star GP, is already in English on Stardom World. That's awesome. Blurry Line says, I'm at a mix between needing English commentary to fully understand storylines, but also kind of wanting to learn other languages because of wrestling. Yeah, exactly. I mean, fuck, I wrestling is seriously got me contemplating, if Duolingo hadn't become AI run, I would be contemplating it. It just sucks that that's what they've resorted to. Some other people that, just real quick have caught my eye a lot in AEW from CMLL. Mascara Dorada, just absolutely incredible. That triple threat he had with Okada and Takeshita, where everybody's looking forward to Takeshita and Okada, and he becomes the star of the match because they keep distracting each other by trying to kill each other, was so good. So good. And they both put him over so huge in that match. And then Persephone. Holy shit. That luchadora of the future.
The next star of wrestling.
Yes.
Holy shit. She's just, I can't wait for her and Thunder Rosa. I'm really looking forward to this little feud.
Yeah. No, it's look, for me, great matches are great matches, and I love a great match. It doesn't matter what language it's in, I'll watch it. I will watch it and I will enjoy it. But when I understand the whole thing, I love it so much more. And Persephone got a huge win this week, even if it was a heelish win. She got a huge win, and I thought that was cool. I think that's really cool. I think it foretells good things for her. Also, what was really funny, by the way, Brian Alvarez, he came back into the mix because last week he said WWE's baffled at how they're booking Persephone. This week, he thought the show went too long and said they should have cut that match. They should have cut that Persephone match. Like, what are you talking about, dude? What are you talking about?
He doesn't know what he's talking about. He literally does not have, he has a single brain cell and he does not remember his own fucking shit. If you were to ask me which dirt sheet person I hate the most, it's really up there, but God, it might be him.
Yep.
Oh my God, I hate this man.
Tino Ibarra said Mascara Dorada was gunning for the double contract in that match. He sure was, and I'm so happy he got it. Also, they have fucking Mystico under a dual contract. Unfucking believable.
But they're just a t-shirt company. They're not going to be around next year.
Yeah, no, next year. Next year is the one. Mascara Dorada is a legend, according to Antoine, and I agree. Antoine says Per Se owned that show, owned that arena, and I cannot wait to see her and Thunder in CMLL. She has the present and the future.
Arena Mexico deserves to have a Forbidden Door pay-per-view. And this is my new thing. I think Forbidden Door should go throughout the three main places that
they should alternate.
They should alternate. It should be in Mexico. It should be in the States. It should be in Japan. Like, one, that would help with a lot of the fucking visa issues. But Arena Mexico, that fucking crowd deserves a fucking pay-per-view.
Well, and I think if they want to do an annual UK pay-per-view, like alternating years with Mexico and Japan, they should do it in the United Kingdom. They should do Forbidden Door there.
Yeah, make it
like they did last year.
Make it easier for the overseas talent that don't have to deal with US.
Always Never says, I love how Metalik, Mystico, Dorada, Hechicero are all completely unique wrestlers. CMLL is so dope. I miss Vikingo. Free Vikingo.
Is he even doing anything? Is he appearing? Like, what's he doing?
He appears on AAA, but now his name is not El Hijo del Vikingo. It's just Vikingo because WWE has to do shit like that. Tino Ibarra says, I'm so glad Persephone's more like playfully mean personality has come out. She's a menace and we love her. Antoine says, and I might be the only fan of a Shida Persephone tag team.
Love it.
I'm way down. I'm way down for that.
I also think Shida would be like, Shida is such a like, I don't want to say legend, but she's such a great, oh my God, what's the word?
Mentor?
Mentor, but it was the other version of that.
Sensei?
No.
Teacher?
Kind of, but what we call old wrestlers that come in and help.
Veteran.
Yes, veteran. She's such a good veteran wrestler to team up with these younger wrestlers. I can't wait.
Yeah. And then we got a lot of people who like the idea of Mexico City Forbidden Door big time. They should do it in 2 years when I'm planning to go back to Mexico City. LOL, Tino. Blurry Line asks, I thought Vikingo was hurt. And then Too Fat to Cook says Vikingo is injured. He's had some bad luck with injuries the last couple of years. It's too bad. And
I feel like I haven't heard about him since they bought it. So.
I mean, even before WWE bought it, the AAA crowds were booing Vikingo. It's crazy. Like, how could you boo Vikingo? Still to this day, one of my very favorite Dynamite matches is Kenny versus Vikingo. Like,
such a good one.
That it's a fucking classic. It's just so good. Professor Degree, Forbidden Door in Arena Mexico. I do believe so. Yes, indeed. Michael Allen Lewis says, WWE, keep your creepy little mitts away from Persephone. Book Julia, Jordan, and Mariah better. Or don't, and just let them leave. That's fine.
Have a feeling Julia will be out.
I think I could see her getting released, honestly.
Or her not wanting to resign.
I'm not hoping for that either. I'm just saying.
I'm not either. I just have a feeling. And I wouldn't be mad if she gets to use her full potential somewhere else.
Yep. Julia doing those like basically shoot headbutts to like people in fucking AEW, like just concussing herself and everyone else. Fantastic. Always Never. Oh, Forbidden Door in Mexico could be dope. Forbidden Door in UK and Rev Pro and Eve Riot wrestling appearance could be dope. Yeah, really could be. Really could be. And I think it really is the Forbidden Door, right? Is that global collaboration, right?
So treat it like a global pay-per-view. Like, that's the one that should be global. But maybe I can get Tony to listen to me.
Yeah. Well, hey, lay it on.
Well, they seem to be wondering where she is. They seem to, the WWE fans seem to care where she is. The rest of us are like, yeah, I don't care that she has not returned.
Blurry Line says, we'll trade you a Camille, WWE. We know you'd love her. They would, too, for like 5 minutes. Always Never, bruh. If they released Julia, that would be crazy. It would be, but I can see it happening. It was, look, it was crazy to release Malachi Black in Zelina. It's crazy to release them because they wanted to be there.
It was crazy to release, oh my God, what's her name?
Kyrie. Like, you release Kyrie Sane. Like, they don't give a fuck anymore. I have a feeling they're going to try and go with what they're going to start releasing people who don't fit into their cookie cutter. I think that's what it's going towards. And they're going to be told to trim fat at the end of every quarter so that they can make their stock look as good as possible at their earnings report. Michael Allen Lewis, imagine Tekla and Julia versus Kyrie and Mina. Holy shit. Don't even fucking go there. God damn. So what I love is that AEW isn't trying to make everyone wrestle lucha. Instead, they're allowing lucha to influence the overall product, the pacing, the athleticism, the variety. It makes Dynamite and Collision and the pay-per-views feel unlike any other wrestling show that's ever aired in North America. It's got I mean, you could maybe go back to Nitro a little bit, but this is still something more than that. AEW doesn't own CMLL, and they're not trying to replace or embellish their product with a facsimile intended for American Latinos, which AAA, that is what WWE is trying to do. They are genuine partners who exchange talent, often with dual contracts, and are promoting the language of pro wrestling mutually. It's a really beautiful thing.
This is what happens when you respect wrestling and you respect the different types of wrestling and the different styles of wrestling, and you don't make everyone fit into your cookie cutter little boring style that is boring.
I mean, Books, we got a billionaire wrestling dork with a vision, and what a vision it was to give us.
We may say eat the rich, but let me tell you something. I'm saving Tony Khan for last. I'm going to give him a chance to unload that wealth.
Always Never says releasing Kyrie is fucking stupid, totally money motivated. Blurry line, WWE have a very suspicious and odd obsession with only wanting women in their early to mid 20s. Bex the Destroyer.
Bex!
Yeah. She asks, are we fantasy booking over here? We kind of always are. I'm glad to have you with us, Bex. In the words of Hangman, todos somos mejores cuando trabajamos juntos. Yes. We're all better when we work together is what that means. Except correctly said in Spanish, yes.
I love you more, Bex.
I love you, Bex. Okay. Grand Slam Mexico. Let's talk about it for a minute. Like we were saying, the crowd was insane.
So, do you remember last week how we said that was the best Dynamite?
Yeah. Yep.
This was the best Dynamite.
It was a fucking fantastic show. It really, really was. Antoine says, you are a gringo, Blade. I think that means a genuine Spaniard, right? Always Never. It's trippy when Blade reads copy. You sound like you've been in radio for decades. Tina says, can we just make this a Books and Bex show? Get Blade out. All right. We don't need just everybody. You didn't hear that. Okay. The Death Riders defeat Adam Copeland, Christian Cage, and the Young Bucks. There was a little communication breakdown, very predictable communication breakdown that led to Jon Moxley rolling up Adam Copeland and pinning him. And then it looked like they were having a little conversation, but they didn't come to blows or anything. But that, they're going what a fun match though. That was a really fun match. Like seeing Copeland, when they sang the Copeland song, they sing it as well as most of the American crowd sing it.
I forgot where we were for a second. I was like, it's got to be like such an amazing feeling too for Adam Copeland. Like,
amazing. He came out with the mask and everything. A lot of people wore masks this night for their entrances. That we had that triple threat, which I knew was going to be a competitor for match of the night, and it sure was. Andrade defeats Tommaso Ciampa and Commander. I thought MJF is definitely not showing up on this show because
his wife is over in fucking Europe posting shit that I was like, oh, they're on their honeymoon.
The other thing is that Ciampa took the MJF gimmick of wearing the American flag stuff. So I was like, oh, MJF can't be on this show. Blurry Line says, shout out to Cope. He looked genuinely emotional and happy to finally have an Arena Mexico match in his 35-year career. He said so. He said what a huge deal it was, and it was one of the highlights of his career. It's so cool.
To the Tokyo Dome before he retires.
That's basically like you cap it right there. Beck says Alicia too. She is on their honeymoon. Yes.
Yeah. Like, fuck you, Max.
We're doing this eventually, you son of a bitch. Give me your credit card. Persephone defeated Chris Statlander with some interference by Sheeta, and Maya World getting involved as well. And this was a really good match. A lot of fun. I saw some people that didn't like the finish, but it's just the start of something. It's not the end, you know. I think this is one of those feuds that could go 50-50 for a little while until somebody comes out on top.
Yeah.
But Stat was the women's world champion at the beginning of the year. So Persephone getting a win over her is a big deal. Big deal. And Antoine, I love the idea of Sheeta and Persephone being a tag team, especially if the Brawling Birds win the tag titles at All In. They're going to need a heel team to feud with. So that would be a really good one. Okay. Champia looked like Super Sam from Chapulon, Colorado. Sorry. Blair Line 7, what comes first? MJF's honeymoon or Mox's fishing trip? Yeah. Michael Alla Lewis, Ciampa going to the Andrade girl and doing a dick pic. LOL. Ciampa's a national treasure. Tino Ibarra said, Super Sam from El Chapulon, Colorado. That's a super Mexican reference, but trust me, he did. I believe you. Also, Ciampa's thing now where he's like doing finishing moves to like inanimate objects. Pretty fucking awesome. When he did it to Andrade's pants and then covered them and made Aubrey count. That was pretty great. So I all for it. Love that Andrade got the win. Him being attacked by MJF after the match. MJF declared with the Triple B going full psycho delusional, you know, announcing that he's going to be in the qualifying match. That was good shit. And Andrade being in a feud with MJF is a big deal. MJF was just the world champion, the men's world champion. Like, incredible.
You can tell MJF has been really improving his acting because he's going to sell the shit out of this, like, unhinged, crazy, delusional, I don't know what he's going to do kind of person.
And make no mistake, MJF is Tony's boy. So, like, if he goes, I want to feud with that guy, he gets to feud with that guy. He's at that kind of made man level. So, I'm pretty sure he picked Andrade to feud with, you know? He wants to put this guy over.
MJF also went, it needs to be Kenny and Will at All In, not me. Like, that, like, he himself, I don't know who the bigger wrestling dork is.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Khan or MJF?
Yeah. Oh, I know. It's like you out nerd each other. Yeah. Willow Nightingale and the Brawling Birds defeated Mercedes, Megan Bayne, and Lena Cross. Very fun match. Willow gets a little roll up on Mercedes and just, you know, it was a very practical finish because she rolled her up and then she used her weight advantage to her benefit. And you can't kick out when somebody bigger than you is lying on top of you like that.
My predictions for All In are still pretty set at this point because
that pin fucked me up a little bit. I was like, God damn it. I thought Willow was going to retain, but God damn it. I'm not sure now. So yeah.
That's going to put a fire under Mercedes' ass.
Yeah.
So.
Tino says 2 former CMLL World Women's Champs. Yeah. So there was Persephone, Stat. We're both. Stat's been the World Women's Champion, hasn't she? CMLL? I thought she had. I know Mercedes has.
Mercedes.
Yeah, okay. Maybe I thought. No, Stat was the Eve champ. That's what it was. Corazon de Leon, Chris Jericho, Darby Allin, and Mystico defeated the Don Callis family. This was a much better match than I expected it to be. Tino says, Nana, Willow, and Mercedes. Okay. Yeah, good point. 2 former CMLL World Women's Champions. Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, I you know, it's so awesome that these wrestlers have a chance to get accolades in other promotions that they would never otherwise have. You know, WWE's in this quest to prove that their titles are the only titles that matter. What? What's the Phase 4
Can you
books?
imagine if Bailey comes in and also wins it?
That'd be pretty dope. If she
Bayley
wins the
would
CMLL World Women's. Yeah. Blurry line, I never want to see Jericho's icky hammies. That is what he wore. He actually, I believe he wore his original tights. He still fits in them okay. Tino Ibarra, which they should have brought up because Willow got there first, which is what Mercedes promo in Detroit was about. Yeah, totally. Kyle Fletcher defeated Mike Bailey in a masterpiece of a match.
Oh,
holy fucking shit.
When isn't a speedball match great though? Like I can't think of like one bad match since he's been in AEW. Like I would love for him to win a belt, but he doesn't need one. He is so just fucking good.
He is a wrestler's wrestler. He is absolutely incredible. Yeah. And that was also awesome. Tina brings up, they both had Mystico influenced masks. Obviously Speedball had been his trio's partner, and Fletcher, came out in a mask. And then of course, Fletcher throws the mask on the ground, steps on it. Nice touch. But what a fucking match. Every time I thought this match was dead over, it just wasn't. And Speedball, I saw a mutual on Thread say, like, I'm so sick of Speedball coming so close and losing. That's kind of who he is.
Yeah.
It's kind of like baked into his character a little bit. He will win someday, but coming close and losing is kind of what he does. He's useful in that way. Hate to be that guy. I do love Speedball. We had the extremely cool moment of the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Hangman Adam Page, Bandito, and Brody King defeating the Demand. I saw some spicy takes on this one. The Demand only had it for a week. This is bullshit.
They'll get it back.
It's the Trios title, for Christ's sake. They're not that big a deal in the first place. Fletcher, Okada, and Mark Davis won the Trios titles the week before Revolution and lost them at Revolution to Mystico and Jet Speed. Like, it's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is.
Make them like, it's a great way to get more people on TV. Just make random trios. And yeah, I think it'll eventually go back on the Elite. But like, until then, fucking make it fun. Like, Hangman and Brodito versus is going to feed us for a while. I can re-see them throwing that back at All In.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tino makes the great point here. A week is pretty good run with those belts. Like, I remember in the Attitude Era, because like sometimes the world title would change hands in a week. Like, it changed hands all the time on Raw. And when somebody had like a 3-month run, I was like, wow, that was a pretty good run. Like, because they just ping-ponged all the time. And that was just
very used to very long runs right now. And that's not the norm.
And this is the year AEW broke that, where they're like, we can't have these 6-month title reigns or 8-month title reigns. Kenny's going to have a 6-week title reign, or 8-week title reign, maybe. But like, it's just, that's the way it is. Blurry Line says, I'm cool with them having it a week. Those belts are going to move around a lot and they can get them back in no time. They can get them back next week,
Yeah.
like whatever. Antoine, it's not that they are not a big deal, but they are, just like Booksy said, they're supposed to be interchangeable. Benny the Bear. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I mean by not super prestigious. Hey, all the trios are like the party match belts, so they should be hot potato. That's what I'm actually trying to say. Benny, thank you. You said it better than I did. Yeah, but
just let them make some random trios, have some fun with it. Like, there's not a real trios division. Like, at the time when the belts were made, yes, there was. That unfortunately has injuries and whatnot have happened. Like, let's just have some fucking fun with them. Like,
yep. Blurry Line makes a good point. Got to remember that Rock and Austin only had like 4-year runs as main eventers, and they each got 5 world titles or so in that time. Rock got it like 6. Austin had 4 or 5. Austin's total time between all of his title reigns as champion is like 100 days. It's very short. It's very, very short. Bex, we were thinking of you because I said I brought up that the trio should be intergender just before you got here, I think.
Oh, you'll love my fantasy booking for that one, and that's with Joey Janela potentially coming into AEW. Put him with Divine Dominion, and have them crush everyone.
Yeah, it would
everyone.
Be cool. Michael Allen Lewis brings up the coolest spot in this match. Toa Leona put Brody King on his back. If I had just said that would have been impressive, right? But then he put Hangman on top of Brody King on his back. And then he put Bandito on top of Hangman, who was on top of Brody, on his back, and walked them to center ring and did a Samoan drop on all of them. Insane. That's like just Brody King alone is, yeah. Tino says that's over 600 pounds. His legs were wobbling and shit, but of course they would be, you know? I couldn't believe that. That was crazy. Hangman's 250 easy. Like, that's a lot of weight. And then Will Ospreay and Mark Davis had a fantastic Mexico City street fight with a ton of great moments, ton of close kickouts. Awesome match. There was a fork spot. There was a fork spot. Books has got the fork pen out.
I made sure I had my fork available to talk because there was a fork spot.
Yeah.
He was hanging out with the Death Riders too much.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe he overheard them like in an adjacent area of the locker room or something. Or maybe they were like doing their thing where they like hang out like in the gutter outside, like the Death Riders, doing push-ups like in mud or something. And Toa just walked past them and just heard him talking about using, or Mark Davis heard him talking about using a fork. Very possible. Very possible.
Very possible. You don't also see, I also have my little candle lighter that I keep playing with it.
Yeah, that's very nice. That's very nice. The clicking will be a lot of fun to remove from the audio. Thank you.
You can't hear it. You cannot hear it.
Oh, you should hear the audio, the raw audio of this show. All right. That's neither here nor there. Will Ospreay won in a very good match. The only down of this entire... Will you not do that? You're blowing gas on your microphone. Watch Books blow up her home.
It's not. It's like a little, like... It's not a real flame.
The audio podcast is going to be so much fun. The only down, if there is one for this show, was that Kenny wasn't there. I don't really get why he wouldn't at least cut a promo, do commentary ringside during the match or something. That would have made
Kenny
more sense to me.
Showing up sometimes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you would know. Tino Ibarra says, okay, I saw someone say that wasn't a fan that caught it. Will, it was a vendor that sells like drinks and chips, and he threw his tray down to catch Will. Still not sure if it was a plant. If that wasn't a plant, that's crazy. I hope it wasn't. That would be awesome. Like if a vendor was just like, oh, amigo, and just caught him, you know, like what the fuck? That would be hilarious. Blurry Line, it reminds me of when Cena lifted Big Show and Edge and like asked Joe if he could get down to 430 pounds because he could squat 680 and that Edge was 250. Good stuff. One thing I also liked is Kazuchika Okada.
You watch yourself.
Uh-oh. Sounds like Ospreay has a point sometimes. Yeah. Ugh.
Ospreay could have picked up the phone. He's a little bitch boy who didn't pick up the phone.
All right. We're going to speed run through the rest of this show because I had no idea that this was going to be this. And I thank you all, by the way, for making this such a fun discussion of AEW and wrestling and how much Roman Reigns is overrated and et cetera, et cetera. It's a lot of fun. So the Continental Cup was announced, Books.
Yes.
And it's a hell of a fucking draw, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Single elimination. So it's not the C2, which we knew it couldn't be because the finals are at All In, which is in like 3.5 weeks. So Jon Moxley, Nigel McGuinness, Jay White, Brian Cage, Kyle O'Reilly, Katsuyori Shibata, Matt Sydal, Hechicero, Roderick Strong, David Finlay, Jack Perry, Claudio Castagnoli, Orange Cassidy, Ace Austin, Jake Doyle, and Eddie Kingston are all going to be in the tournament. The rules are a little different because it is a single elimination. There's no time limits like there is in the C2. No outside interference permitted as there is for the C2. And no, there isn't the traditional bracket. They didn't announce a bracket like they do for the C2, or a league like they do for the C2. So that's kind of interesting. The tournament's going to conclude at All In, where the winner leaves as AEW Continental Champion and the Continental Cup winner. The matches that they've announced so far, these were completely random drawings, folks, which I absolutely believe. Random. Yeah. So randomly, Jay White versus David Finlay is happening next Wednesday on Dynamite in Las Vegas. Very random.
So random.
Very random. Very random. It's going to be a good match, though. I'm excited to see it. Jay White better win. Roderick Strong versus Kyle O'Reilly. Interesting.
Random.
Very random. Very random. Definitely not.
Especially given that we know Roddy has been a little
edgy.
A little edgy sometimes.
Yep. We get Nigel McGuinness versus Katsuyori Shibata. Yeah, that's a good one. Give that to me. I'm really, really stoked. I'm intrigued because Nigel is wrestling Lee Moriarty for the pure title again at Death Before Dishonor. This is their third match for it. But he's also in this tournament. And I'll get to the bigger point I'm going to make here in a minute. Moxley versus Jack Perry next week on Dynamite as well. I got to pick Mox for this one.
Sorry, Jack, you're gonna.
Yeah. And then Hechicero is in the tournament. I don't actually remember what match. Because who's Eddie wrestling? Ace, I think it's Brian Cage. Who's Jake Doyle wrestling?
Oh, don't worry, I'll look at Eddie Kingston.
Oh, it's Jake and Eddie. Okay. And then Ace Austin, I believe, is Hechicero's opponent.
No,
so yeah,
your notes say Brian Cage.
Where do they say that?
Under AEW Collision, confirmed first round matches.
Oh, ha ha ha. Okay. So this Saturday, as you're listening to this, Claudio versus Ace Austin, Eddie Kingston versus Jake Doyle, Orange Cassidy versus Matt Sydal. I think those matches feel relatively predictable. I think Eddie's winning. I think Claudio's going to win. Orange almost certainly wins. Dynamite Wednesday, Jon Moxley versus Jack Perry. Jon Moxley's winning. Jay White, provided that they're not trying to be safe with him, is going to win. And then Roderick's next collision, Roderick Strong versus Kyle O'Reilly, Hechicero versus Brian Cage, and Nigel McGuinness versus Katsuyori Shibata. Some interesting stuff. I like the DCF versus DCF matchup. That's going to be funny.
They're definitely leading towards a DCF, like Civil War type scenario.
Yes. Well, and I thought it was cool at Grand Slam Mexico when Okada comes out and he cuts Kyle's music short. Kyle's not even pretending to like Okada anymore. There's no proto-Okada anymore. So
imagine betraying your friend for Okada.
Yeah. And then immediately starting to hate him. Tino Ibarra says, dude, the Mexican fans were talking like books. They were so bummed Kenny wasn't there. Blurry line, Kenny could have picked up his plane ticket. Tino Ibarra says, yeah, but books, time zones are tricky. Can't just call whenever. It's true. It's true. Always never. McGuinness versus Shibata, yes. Yeah, no, that's crazy, right? Eddie's just showing up in a Watch ROH shirt and laying down. Eddie's just figured out he makes the same amount of money no matter where he works. So, I'll just work ROH. Tino Ibarra. Oh, Hechicero versus Brian Cage is more DCF infighting. Michael Allen Lewis. Do you think the finals are going to be Mox and Jay or Mox and Eddie? Look, the first Continental finals were Mox and Eddie. I don't want to see that again. I want to see Jay and Mox in the finals, and I want Jay to win.
Same.
Period.
Jay's my pick. Jay's my pick right now.
When I looked at this, just the participants, not the actual matches, the most interesting finals you could come up with, in my opinion, is Jay White and Jon Moxley. Mm-hmm. It's a match that hasn't happened in AEW yet, and I want to see it. I just want to see it. I really want to see it.
We all do.
And Tino says Okada also wanted to cut off Mystico's music. Yes. Okada's such a great dickhead. Just an amazing asshole.
The best. Like, anyone who thinks Okada's not having fun right now is, like, on a weird... I don't know what. Okada is having the time of his life right now, just being an asshole. Heel Okada was what we needed.
Absolutely. He's been so good. Not featured enough this year, in my opinion. I would have liked to see more of him.
Well, didn't his wife have another child recently?
Well, I mean, they had another child. Yes, she didn't have her child.
His wife had the child.
I didn't know that. If that's true, then that makes more sense. Yeah.
I know that. I thought they had I thought that was one of the reasons why he was written off was because his wife was having another baby.
Antoine Jacksonville native says, "Hey, now don't get mad. We get to see Eddie more in Jax than on national TV. Haters, LOL." Tino Ibarra goes, "Nah, give Hechicero a Cinderella run. Look, Jay White is my dude. Okay, he's my dude. Jay White forever." Okay, so I think those are very interesting matchups. I think the finals will probably be Jay White versus Mox at All In. If I'm calling it now, we'll see. I'm probably wrong. But speaking of All In, so far, right now, we know the men's world heavyweight title is Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega. Women's world heavyweight title match is Mercedes versus Willow. Men's tag titles, Young Bucks versus Cope and Cage. And I was very pleased to see that the women's tag titles were announced for the main card of All In. Jesus Christ. Mostly because the Brawling Birds are from the UK. But thank God. That match will happen on the main card. Divine Dominion versus the Brawling Birds. I think we've been calling that match since about June for this show. So very cool. And Andrade is the number one entrant in the Casino Battle Royal. It sounds like MJF will be in it as well. Which, of these matches so far, which match feels the most unpredictable to you?
Unpredictable?
For me, it's the women's heavyweight.
I was gonna say Mercedes versus Willow because it can go either way. Everything else, I'm pretty set on who's winning, except for that one. Yeah.
I feel like I know who's going to win the rest of the lineup so far.
Yeah.
What matches are kind of out there in the ether? We were just talking about how Brawling Birds versus Divine Dominion seemed like written in the stars months ago. Are there any other matches that seem like they are? To me, if there are, it's Okada versus Fletcher versus Takeshita in a triple threat. Seems like it's kind of written to happen. Are there any others in chat? Same here.
I would agree. I would love to see something for Tekla. Give her someone.
Tekla needs a one-on-one big match. I would love to see that. Or they defend those trios titles, those Stardom trios titles at All In. That would be cool. Against some Stardom talent. That could be cool. But
I mean,
that's AEW talent not on the show then.
I know I can answer the biggest potential show stealer.
What's that?
When Daybreak comes out after the Young Bucks and the tag belts.
Yeah. That's right. We just dabbed. Yep.
What if Tekla does an open challenge and then Kyrie comes out?
That would be dope. That would be dope.
What a fun way to bring Kari in.
Yeah, I don't need Tekla to win at all.
No.
I'm totally fine if she loses. I just want her to have some kind of featured role, She's European. That's almost like being British. Okay. So Tino says
And
Okada had to go.
I
Go
was
ahead.
gonna say definitely Persephone and Stat might be on the
Pre-show.
buy-in,
Yeah.
but they're definitely gonna do something.
I hope so, because that's a matchup I really want to see more of. And I don't care if Stat wins a rematch. I just want Persephone to look dominant and strong, no matter what.
Yeah.
So Tino Ibarra says Okada had to go to Japan out of nowhere, so there probably was some kind of family thing. The Brawling Birds, if the Brawling Birds don't come out to an X-Ray Spec song at all in, it's a missed opportunity. Agreed. Blair Line says, I'd say Willow versus Mercedes is the hardest to call. Michael Allen Lewis says Athena versus Maya, maybe. I would love it. Since we're not getting a women's casino match, I would like to see more women's matches on this show. Like, there needs to be more than usual. Like,
even if they put one in, like 2 in the buy-in, just like give us more. Like, we don't need a Costco Boys match.
Yeah, skip the Costco guys match and do another as many women's matches as you can possibly fit in. Per se, Shida and Stat triple threat. I don't think Shida and Per se can trust each other for long. I agree. I especially don't think that Shida can trust Per se. Like, she's the one who will do the backstabbing. She's already proven that. So
be a lesson to Shida, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Tekla versus Kyrie says Too Fat to Cook. I would love that. Tekla Chaos says Bex. Blurry Line, Tekla in her hometown of London. From Austria, London. Yes, Tony Schiavone. Tekla, your hometown of London. Antoine, it's going to be hard to get Tekla with them in Stardom now. Yeah, but I mean, for a day, who knows?
I mean, that's a very easy flight.
Yeah.
In reality, it's easier than coming back here.
Yes, certainly shorter flight than here. Michael Allen Lewis, since they don't have concrete plans for Swerve or Hanger, you can do more women's matches on this card. Yeah, and I think Swerve and Hanger will have matches on this show. I think Swerve might return at this show.
Swerve's returning at this, whether it's for the Gauntlet or something, he's returning.
It's either for the, I think it's either for the Gauntlet or he's going to return and have some effect on the main event. I'm not sure what direction, but whether he'll be supporting Will or not, but possibly. Blurry Line, Tekla versus Big Boom AJ in a barbed wire death match. I mean, if it means we don't get any more Big Boom AJ matches, I'm down. I don't even mind Big Boom AJ most of the time.
I don't either, but we don't need it for this one.
Antoine Wilson, I can't wait for the All-Black Women's World Championship. AEW tried to make it look good, but they did their base on a 3-hour show, 2 matches. Need more. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, they can still do a lot better. But the fact that there's 2 matches announced for All In currently when there's only 4 matches announced is a good indication to me that we might get more, that we're going to get more. So I really hope we do. Too Fat to Cook says Swerve's been in the studio. He posts on IG today. Yeah, I feel like they've had him on.
New entrance song for the embassy.
Maybe. I also think, like, if he was going to do an album, you know, they've been keeping him on pause kind of until after All In, when they can make him a bigger focus of the company again. So my guess is he comes back at this show. I think
he's definitely working on something outside of AEW right now, and that's where his focus is on. And that's okay. That's the beauty of AEW.
Yes, totally. So, you know, it's just been a great week for pro wrestling. I think Dynamite was fantastic. Yeah, you could take your pick with Beach Blast or whatever it was called. What was it called? Beach Blast? Yeah. Beach Break? I don't even remember anymore.
Beach Break, yeah.
Yeah, Beach Break. Last week's show with the Osprey Kenny closing, or this week's show in Arena Mexico. I mean, one of them's my favorite Dynamite of the year. I'm not sure which. But they were all so good. Tino says, yeah, Swerve's definitely been doing some music stuff. Blair Line says, we'll split what's left of AJ between his son Big Justice and his whatever, the Rizzler. And Swerve isn't going to miss All Out. He loves murder too much. Yeah. I could see
He's
that.
definitely going to want to get a match for All Out when, they go all out on the murder.
Yeah. So, in closing, I do want to remind everybody that Jobber Underground is coming and is coming soon. I feel like that wrestler dude. Make sure you follow us on Threads, Blue Sky, and Instagram at Jobber Underground that's our username on all platforms. This is going to be brought to you by myself, by Professor Degree, by Books, by Joshi G. And we are so happy that we're going to narrow the focus of what Sickos Club was doing. We are going to have some writing on our website. We're going to have a store. We got merch, lots of cool merch ideas coming at you. We're going to have a Patreon coming for those who can afford to support what we do that way. But I think you guys are going to be really excited about what we're going to be able to offer. I'm excited about it. It's the first time in the wrestling space I've been able to be like, really, really, really like have my shit together. And so I'm really excited about that. So, Tino Ibarra says Swerve's not going to miss Daybreak's debut. Yeah. Always Never says, I love these 2U episodes. It's like hanging out with
He's corrected himself.
Oh, I love these 2-hour episodes. It's like hanging out with friends and talking craps. Absolutely. Absolutely. It is a good time. All right. Well, between Andrade, Bandito, Commander, Masquerade, Dorada, Persephone, Arena Mexico, and this continued strength of the AEW CMLL relationship, it feels like AEW has found something that no other major promotion in America, at least, can currently replicate. It's a product that genuinely celebrates multiple wrestling traditions and cultures without asking any of them to become something else. And I think that, my friends, especially in this era of MAGA and Trumpism, is one thing happening in America that we can be proud of. So with all that said, I'm Blade Daly.
And I'm Books and Bodyslams.
Pro wrestling forever. Michael Allen Lewis. Ooh, what if it's Daybreak and Swerve versus the good, the bad, and the ugly? That would be good. That is actually a great idea.
Oh, can you imagine? See, I feel like the Bucks are going to go heel, and you're not going to bring the New Day in and make them heels just yet.
Because they're going to get cheered. Like,
yeah, it's going to be hard to make them heels right away.
Really hard. Really hard. I don't know. There's a lot of cool possibilities.
But they could be heels because of them leaving the circus and breaking free and just being angry.
Thank you, Antoine. Thank you, Antoine.
It was a good one.
Yeah, I'm making little tweaks to how we do the show. It's sit down, shut up, mark out is no finished product and never will be. So, just trying to be more of a professional podcaster. I'm just kidding. Last comment. Tino Ibarra says Willow needs to be in Daybreak. I would so support that. She takes the Big E spot in Daybreak. Mm-hmm. Fuck yeah. I would be all about it. Blurry Line, we love y'all. I love you all. Thank you. Blade and Books equally, mostly.
Mostly. Well, as we discussed, it's 33 point.
Okay. I'm killing the stream right now. All right. Goodbye, guys. Bye, everybody.